Rabotai, tonight we speak about Sukkot as much that we can. Usually we do the show on a prophet on a Sunday, but because tomorrow night is Sukkot, I would like to speak a little bit about Sukkot, and then we'll continue from there. Rabotai, the days between Yom Kippur to Sukkot, we don't say Novidui and we don't say Tahanun. And we have to understand why. I'm going to bring two different ideas, and from there we start going slowly to Sukkot. So Ari Kadosh, Rabbi Yitzhak Luria Ashkenazi, he born in Jerusalem 491 years ago. And the Ari Kadosh explained that the reason that we don't say Tahanun from Yom Kippur until Sukkot, include Sukkot, explain the Ari Kadosh because those days have the same Kedusha as Hol HaMoed. That means the days from Yom Kippur to Sukkot, they consider, okay, but they have the same holiness like Hol HaMoed. And that's why we don't say, on those days, we don't say Tahanun and Vidui. Another explanation that I saw that brought by the Mefarshim, and they explain like this. They say that the main reason that we don't say Tahanun, you know why? Because in the time of Shlomo HaMelech, when Shlomo HaMelech built the first Bet Mikdash, okay, we know that he finished to build the first Bet Mikdash was during that time. And those was a day of joy and happiness to the children of Israel. And if you finish to build Bet HaMikdash, they never said Tahanun. Therefore, say Mefarshim, those days that was between Yom Kippur to Sukkot, because they finished to build and to celebrate the building of the Sukkah, and the building of the Bet HaMikdash, okay, in a time of Shlomo HaMelech. Therefore, because those days was a day of joys and happiness, we don't say Tahanun. That's the only reason why we don't say Tahanun. This is the two ideas that brought one from the Ari Kadosh, that those days have the same virtue of Hol HaMoed. Another interpretation that the Mefarshim say that Shlomo HaMelech finished to build Bet HaMikdash in that time, and they were celebrating, and it was a Yom Tov for the entire Jewish people. That's why we don't say Tahanun. Now I would like to move, before we start to speak about Sukkot, I would like to speak about the virtue of the Sukkah. The Holy Torah tells us in Sefer Vayikra, Parashat Emor, chapter 23, verse 42. The Torah tells us like this: Basukot tishvu shivat yamim. That means that you have an obligation to sit in a sukkah for 7 days. Okay? But it says Basukot. We'll see why. We have to understand, and the question is, why do we have to sit? What is the virtue of the sukkah that we have to sit for 7 days? Let me just look here. There's some noise. I want just to mute. Who's here that not muted? Okay. Yeah. Beseder. Everyone now muted. There's no noise on the background. So I saw a beautiful answer that brought, I'm actually going to bring 3 different ideas. There's many more, but let's tackle 3. I saw the first one that I would like to tackle is the Ramak. Who was the Ramak? The Ramak was Rabbi Moshe Cordovero. Rabbi Moshe Cordovero, born, okay, some people say that he born in Tzfat. I know that he lived in Tzfat in the 16th century, but there is some that say that he born 504 years ago in Tzfat, plus minus, okay? And Rabbi Moshe Cordovero actually explained like this. And he said that the holiness of the sukkah, listen to that, Rabotai, it's more than a shul. Can you imagine that? He said, let me prove it to you. He said like this. He said, you have a positive command from the Torah to sit in a sukkah. The Torah commands you to sit in a Torah. It's a positive command. He said, well, the mitzvah of going to shul, it's a rabbinical. He says, so from here you see that the mitzvah of sitting in a sukkah, according to the Ramak, Rabbi Moshe Cordovero, that was a great Kabbalistic rabbi, he explained that it's the virtue of the sukkah is more than a shul. Why? Because it's mitzvah deoraita. The shul, it's mitzvah de rabbanan, rabbinical. That was the Ramak. Who was the Ramak? Just to give you a bit. The Ramak was a great Kabbalistic, and when Ari Kadosh came to Tzfat, he learned from the Ramak. He learned the Torah Kabbalah. He started to learn the Kabbalah. There is a midrash that called Yalkut Shimoni. Yalkut Shimoni is a midrash that's been written by Rabbi Shimon Ashkenazi. He born in the city of Frankfurt in Germany. He lived around the 13th century, plus minus, in the 13th century in Germany. And he said like this, in Midrash Yalkut Shimoni, listen what he said. He said like this, Kol hayoshev basukah, whoever sit in a sukkah, okay, in Sukkot, obviously, ניצל ממלחמת גוג ומגוג ושומרת אותו מן המזיקים. Imagine that. What does it mean? A person that sits in a sukkah in Sukkot, there is a guarantee, okay? You get a guarantee that he's gonna be saved from the war of Armageddon. And not only that, וניצל מן המזיקים, ושומרת אותו מן המזיקים. The merit of the sukkah protect him from any evil forces, from any source of evil forces that there is in the world. Also, Hazal explained that the Midrash continues and said, "Kol hayoshev basukah en oivav yecholim lo." That means that even if you have enemy, they cannot harm him. He said, where do you learn that? He said, look what David HaMelech said in Sefer Tehillim. We know that every morning we say, and every evening we said chapter 27. Am I right? And verse 5, we say like this, יצפינני בסוכו ביום רעה, יסתירני בסתר אוהלו. So the Mefarshim, from here you learn that the sukkah is the source of every protection that a person can have. And I want to tell you a story. During the 6-day war, okay, in Yerushalayim, there was bombing Yerushalayim left hand and right, the Jordanian. And in that time, they didn't have a lot of bomb shelter. The building didn't have mamad and etc. So people used to go to the closer central bomb shelter, and they used to sit there. And the story came like this, that one day, one of the Chachamim looked for his son, and he couldn't find him. And he was worried, but he couldn't leave because it was bombing. When the Jordanians stopped bombing the city of Jerusalem, he gone to look for his son, and he found his son sitting in Beit HaMidrash and studying. And the father was cross with his son, you know, you're putting yourself in danger, and etc. And he asked him, what are you doing? Come to the bomb shelter. He said, look, I'm studying Masechet Sukkah. The Torah tells us that the person, and David HaMelech said, יצפינני בסוכו ביום רעה, יסתירני בסתר אוהלו. Said the son to his father, there is a guarantee that to person that sit in a sukkah or study Masechet Sukkah, no harm going to happen to him. So we see from here the virtue of sitting in a sukkah, okay, is so much that we only can benefit from it. And who can say today that he doesn't need protection from all different enemies, from all different evil forces that there is in the world? So until now, we spoke about the virtue. But we have to ask ourselves, why are we sitting in a sukkah? The Torah tells us to sit in a sukkah. And we have to understand, why do we sit in a sukkah? So Hazal in the Gemara, in Masechet Sukkah, in page 11, folio 2, bringing a mahloket between Rabbi Eliezer and between Rabbi Akiva. They're both bringing two different opinions, and we have to understand first what we're saying, and then we're going to start developing. According to Rabbi Eliezer, in the Gemara in Masechet Sukkah, page 11, folio 2, he explained that the reason that we're sitting in a sukkah, it's all because in the merit of the cloud of glory. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu, okay, when the children of Israel was in the wilderness for 40 years, he protected them with the cloud of glory. He put the cloud of glory to protect the children of Israel. We know from scorpion, from snake, from wild beasts, from the weather, the harsh weather, and etc. Say Rabbi Eliezer, therefore, we're sitting in a sukkah. Come Rabbi Akiva, in the same Gemara, Masechet Sukkah, page 11, folio 2, and he bring a different opinion. He said, no, when the children of Israel was in the wilderness, they built a Sukkot. They built a proper sukkah, a shelter. In the merit of that shelter, we're sitting in a sukkah. Why did they build it? Say Rabbi Akiva, according to the Pshat of the Dvar, because the weather. You know that in the wilderness, there is no sun. There is nothing to protect you from the sun or from the cold. And that's why we have to sit in a sukkah. So to protect them from the harsh weather, say Rabbi Akiva, they built sukkah, and that, in the merit of that, we have to sit. The Midrash Bereshit Rabbah, in chapter 48, verse 10, he says something like this. He says, you know why we're sitting in a sukkah? It started many years before. He said when Avraham Avinu, he said like this, when Avraham Avinu done his brit milah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu sent them on a third day 3 angels to cure him. When Avraham saw the 3 angels, he didn't realize that the angel, in his eyes, they look like Arabs, Aravim, nidmu lo ka'aravim. And he asked them, please come sit under my tree. It said there like this. Let me just find the verse. Yeah. Isha'anu tahat ha'etz. Avraham Avinu said to him, please rest under the tree to get a shelter. And then I will prepare a meal for you. Said the Midrash that HaKadosh Baruch Hu saw that you offered the angel a place to sit, to have a shelter from the heat of the sun, because it's a kehom hayom. What it means kehom hayom? Hazal explained, HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't want Avraham Avinu to wait for visitors, so he makes such a heat that no one was walking. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu saw that Avraham Avinu not going to give up. He's not going to let easily this mitzvah going. So he waited and he waited. Then HaKadosh Baruch Hu sent angel because human being couldn't walk on that heat. Say the Midrash Bereshit Rabbah, in a merit of that Abraham Avinu told the angel, rest under the tree, get some shelter, well, I'm not going to prepare the meal for you. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to him, the merit of that, when your kid's going to be in the wilderness, I'm going to make for them or create for them the cloud of glory. And that's why we're sitting in a Sukkot. Okay, until here we understand. But then come the next question that we have to ask ourselves. That's all good. So we understand that we have to sit in a Sukkot. We brought 3 different ideas. But why 7 days? Did you ever ask yourself, how come that a person have to sit for 7 days dafka? Because we see that we have other Yom Tov, that day 1 day, they 2 days. In the diaspora, they're all 2 days. But in general, in Eretz Yisrael, they're 1 day. So what's the Hidush here? Sorry, Rabota, my voice is a bit tricky. I saw a beautiful interpretation in a Midrash Bamidbar Rabbah. In a Midrash Bamidbar Rabbah, chapter 1, and also Rashi HaKadosh bring it in on the book of Bamidbar in chapter 10, verse 34. He said that, you know why 7 days? Because it was 7 cloud of glories. And he explained like this. How was 7 cloud of glories? He said that was 4 was towards the 4 sides of the world. North, side, south, east, west. That's 4. On top and in the bottom, that's already 6. Where's the number 7? That was Anana Kavod, Anana Ish, sorry, the cloud of fire, that he used to be in the front. And he used to level the floor for them. He used to get rid of all the scorpion, the snake, and those wild beasts that wanted to attack them. The Anana Esh used to protect them, and he used to provide light for them inside the cloud of glory. So say the Mefarshim, in the merit of those 7 clouds that protect the children of Israel while they was in a wilderness, every day, okay, we're sitting 1 day in honor of every cloud. And that can explain to us now what Rabbi Eliezer said. Because Rabbi Eliezer said that the reason that we're sitting in the Sukkah in Sukkot is in the merit of the cloud of glories. Okay, that's we understand in the merit of the cloud of glories, that was 7. Another interpretation that the Mefarshim bring, and that's brought in Shulchan Aruch. And he said like this, he said in the merit of the Ushpizin, that we have 7 visitors that coming to visit us on Sukkot. And who they are? We know that it's Avraham Avinu, Yitzhak Avinu, Yaakov Avinu, Moshe, and Aaron, Yosef, and David. 7. In merit of each one of them that coming to visit us, and every night in a sukkah or every day when we sit in a sukkah, okay, we have to sit in honor of those great shepherds that lead the children of Israel, that we call them Ushpizin. Ushpizin, it means visitors. Okay, we have to sit for 7 days in the sukkah. So now we understand why 7 days we're sitting in the sukkah. Okay, but now come a different question that we have to ask ourselves. Hag Sukkot Okay? We celebrating straight after Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. Why? Why dafka straight after Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur? So I'm going to bring different ideas to explain to us why. So I'm going to start with the Psikta de Rav Kahana. And it's, what is a Psikta de Rav Kahana? It's an ancient midrash, okay, that in that midrash there is explanation about the Torah, okay? That midrash explain what's happening on Shabbat, on the festivals. That's the Psikta de Rav Kahana. It's an ancient midrash. And there he brings something extraordinary. And he said like this. He said like this. He said that in Rosh Hashanah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu judged all the world. The entire world got judged. Human beings, animals, countries, the trees, everything got judged. Okay? He said that each one of us get judged. Then in Yom Kippur, HaKadosh Baruch Hu given us a special day. What was that day? Said the Mefarshim that that day was Yom Kippur, a day of atonement. Okay? And he said that we have to understand what is it, said the Midrash like this. And he bring in the Gemara in Masechet Sanhedrin, Lamet Zayin, Amud Bet, Laz Amud Bet. And he said like this, and Hazal tell us in the Gemara, Galut mechaperet avon. That's what Hazal say. And we have to understand what is it mean. Hazal tell us in the Gemara that when a person go to exile, lo aleno, if you have averot, it's doing atonement to his averot. Say the Mefarshim like this, say the Psikta de Rav Kahana. He say that maybe on Yom Kippur the Jewish people get judged. And on Rosh Hashanah we got judged. On Yom Kippur we have a day of atonement. Maybe there is still a little bit of Midat Adin. There is the character trait of judgment still. The Torah come and tell us, okay, בסוכות תשבו 7 ימים. Leave your house, build a sukkah, and leave your comfort house, leave your comfort lounge, dining room. Where do you have to go and eat? Go to the sukkah. Also, there's a mitzvah to sleep in a sukkah. You know, it's part of the mitzvah to sleep in a sukkah. Said the Midrash Kahana, by that we're leaving our comfortable house and moving to the sukkah, that's like galut. HaKadosh Baruch Hu consider it like we left our place and we're going to galut. We're going to exile. And those 7 days that we in exile, listen to that, it's to do atonement if there is, Chas v'Shalom, any judgment on the Jewish people. Say the Psikta de Rav Kahana, you know why dafka after Yom Rosh Hashanah, after Yom Kippur, we have a mitzvah to sit in a sukkah? That's the reason. To completely to try to erase, to do atonement for the new year. Isn't that amazing? Why we're sitting in a sukkah. Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim, born in the city of Frankfurt. He born in Germany 762 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And he bring more answer according to the pshat of the dvarim, if we call it pshat. And he said like this. He said, in Eretz Israel, also in South Africa, now it's the season, it's the changing season. We're moving in Eretz Israel, they move from summer, now it's autumn in Eretz Israel towards the winter. In South Africa, it's exactly the opposite. We're moving from winter to summer. He said, but that it's the time that it starts the rainy season in Eretz Israel and in South Africa. He said that the main reason that Hazal tell us that the Torah tell us to sit in a sukkah now, why does it tell us now? To show our dedication, our how much we devoted to Akadosh Baruch Hu, to sit in a sukkah dafka in a rainy season. Why? So the Gentile not going to say to Akadosh Baruch Hu, when we say the Gentile, is the angel, okay? The prosecutor that all the time try to prosecute the Jewish people when they do Averot, that they not going to tell Akadosh Baruch Hu, listen, the reason that they're sitting outside in a sukkah, you know, if it was summer, he would say, listen, they're sitting because they want to enjoy, okay, the beautiful weather outside, it's too hot inside the house, etc. So come Kadosh Baruch Hu, okay, and say in the Torah that we have to sit where? Outside. Go sleep outside. To show the Yetzer Hara, that the mitzvah of the Sukkah, to sit outside, to eat outside, to sleep outside in a Sukkah, very important to us, even when it's cold, even when it's uncomfortable, to show that we devoted to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that's that we do Averot, it's not part of us. It's external to us. And a proof to it, that in this time of the year, we live in our comfort zone, our bed, our dining room, our lounge. And where we go? Outside. Sitting where? Underneath leaves. And that's the Hiddush. Another interpretation that brought by the Zohar HaKadosh. And there he explained that the main reason that we're sitting in a Sukkah Dafka now, it's because after Rosh Hashanah that we've been judged, everyone done tshuva, we have the 40 days from Elul to Tishrei, you know, and then another 30 days from Elul to Tishrei, and then another 10 days of repentance, Aseret Yemei Tshuva, we become pure and holy. He said to sit in a sukkah, the sukkah is so holy. Why is it so holy? Listen to that idea. He said because the sukkah is something so holy that only people that done tshuva, repentance, okay, for 40 days, from Elul until Yom Kippur include, those people can enter the sukkah because the sukkah is so holy. Now, Rabotai, we have to understand what does it mean. The Zohar HaKadosh called the sukkah Tzila de Mehemnuta. What it means, Tzila de Mehemtuna. It's the shadow of the Emunah. Pshat of the Dvarim. The translation from Aramaic to English, it's the shadow of the Emunah. That means when people sit in the sukkah, they get Emunah, they get faith in the Almighty. That means the merit of the sukkah is to give us Emunah in the Almighty. Okay, if that's the case, what's so special about it? Why Dafka now? He said, because on Yom Kippur we get judged. On Rosh Hashanah we get judged. On Yom Kippur, Okay, we done repentance, we done tshuva from the bottom of the heart. We still pure. Therefore, straight after that, we can enter the Holy Sukkah. He said that's the idea of the Zohar HaKadosh. Now I'm going to bring another opinion, the fourth opinion. The fourth opinion is the opinion of the Gaon Mevilna, Rabbi Eliyahu Mevilna, Rabbi Eliyahu ben Shlomo Mevilna. He born around 305 years ago. Some people say born in Vilna, some people say born in Lita. It's all Eastern Europe. And he says something extraordinary. Listen what he said. He said that when Moshe Rabbeinu gone up the mountain to bring the Torah, the children of Israel miscalculate the day. And then the Erev Rav made the golden calf. And the children of Israel sinned with the golden calf. He said automatically, when the children of Israel celebrate, okay, and enjoy the golden calf, the cloud of glory disappeared. He said, when did the cloud of glory start to come back? After Moshe Rabbeinu gone up for 40 days again to the mountain. When did he come down? On Yom Kippur. When he came down on Yom Kippur, Akadosh Baruch Hu said to Moshe Rabbeinu, Salahti kidvarecha. I forgive your nation because you pray, because you daven for them. Said the Mefarshim. The cloud of glory came straight after that. Said the Gaon Mivilna, in that case, in Tedvav, Tishrei, that came back, the cloud of glory, in a merit of that the cloud of glory that left us, now they're coming back, we're sitting in a sukkah. That's the Gaon Mivilna. So we learn from here, these four different ideas. Why do we sit dafka now in a sukkah? What's so important to sit in a sukkah dafka in that time of the Sukkot? But here comes a different question. The question is, we say that Akadosh Baruch Hu, when the children of Israel was in a wilderness, he provided us with a cloud of glory. That's according to Rabbi Eliezer in the Gemara Masechet Sukkah 11, folio 2. He said that the main reason that we're sitting in a sukkah is because the cloud of glory, Ananei Kavod. Come the Rashba. The Rashba was Rabbi Shlomo ben Aderet. Rabbi Shlomo ben Aderet, he born in a city of Barcelona. Barcelona is a city in Spain. He born 790 years ago. And listen to his question. He said, if the Torah commands us to sit in a sukkah, according to Rabbi Eliezer in a Gemara, in a merit of the cloud of glory, I understand, fair enough, no problem. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu also provide the children of Israel the well of Miriam. Why we don't celebrate something for the well of Miriam? The children of Israel also merit to eat from the manna that came down from heaven. Ask the Rashba, Rabbi Shlomo ben Aderet, why we don't do any symbol or any merit for the Be'erah of Miriam, the well of Miriam, and the manna? Why dafka to Ananei Kavod? Why to the cloud of the glory? That's the question of the Rashba on a Gemara. It's a very valid question. Said the Rashba something extraordinary. He said to understand that, you have to go to Sefer Dvarim, okay, that we're reading in Parashat Kititze. In Parashat Kititze, Kititze LaMilchama Loivecha, what does it say there? Zechor et asher asa lecha Amalek. You have to remember what Amalek done to you. Why? Hazal tell us in the Torah tell us in chapter 25, verse 18, what is Amalek done to us? ויזנב הנחשלים בך. ויזנב כל הנחשלים בך. That means those that was weak, those that couldn't enter the cloud of glory, Amalek managed to attack them from the back. Say Hazal, who's the Nehshalim? Who's those people that you're telling me that was Nehshalim, that they could not go into the cloud of glory? Say Hazal, those was the Erev Rab, the multination. He says something extraordinary. Said the Rashba like this. He said, from the manna, everyone eaten. The children of Israel, the multination. The well of Miriam, everyone drank. The children of Israel and the multination. He said, but the cloud of glory wouldn't allow the multination to come in. He said the cloud of glory represent holiness, and the sukkah represent holiness. Therefore, the well of Miriam caused everyone benefit. Not only that, everyone have something to say about the manna. Why? They say that we want to eat meat. We are not eating this food. Lechem hakelokel. On the water, they complain. Why did you brought us to the wilderness? And now the water is better. Say the Rashba, because the cloud of glory, they didn't allow the multination to come. Not only that, no one complained about the cloud of glory. If no one complained about the cloud of glory, that's the reason that you can do something in memory of the cloud of glory. Why? Because everyone enjoyed it. Whoever was inside the cloud of glory couldn't complain. Everyone wanted to be inside. But the manna, everyone had it. Everyone wanted it, can eat it. Those that didn't want it, that didn't have a choice. He said, because the cloud of glory, no one complained about. The opposite, everyone wanted. He said, in the merit of that, you create a festival. And that's the reason why we celebrate Chag Sukkot, and we don't have a festival for the manna in the merit of the manna, or festival in the merit of the well of Miriam. Okay. The question that we have to ask now, that what's happening here? And the Zohar continues. He says you have to understand that the sukkah is so holy. The sukkah, we get spiritual hashpa'ot ruhaniyot. What does it mean? We get a lot of spiritual influence on it and physical. That means we get a lot of spiritual benefit and physical benefit from the sukkah. Say that on Yom Kippur, we done atonement. Rosh Hashanah, we've been judged. He said, but that you're coming and you're sitting in a sukkah, okay, that's where you can get all of that spiritual and physical prosperity. Until now, we explained this situation of why we're sitting and everything. Now we have another 15 minutes and we have to tackle one important thing. The Torah tells us that one important thing that we have to understand, the Torah tells us, V'samachta b'chagecha, that you should be happy on a festival. And Hazal explained what it means, V'samachta b'chagecha, that you should be happy on your festival. He said, which festival? He said, that's referring to the festival of Sukkot. They asked the Gaon Mivilna, what is the most difficult mitzvah to do? Everyone would expect to hear keeping Shabbos, all different negative command that we have or positive command to do. Say the Gaon Mivilna like this. It said the most difficult mitzvah that we have is to be Besamachta behagecha for 8 days, to be in joy, in happiness, in Sukkot. What does it mean? He said, person not allowed to be upset, not allowed to be cross, not allowed to feel moody, to be upset, to be sad, and etc. 8/24, a person have to be happy. Imagine that. 8 days, 24 hours, for 24 hours, a person should be happy, should be in joy, should love every second of the day of Sukkot and to be in happiness. Not allowed to be upset, not allowed to be even cross. He said, the Gaon Mivina, that's the most hardest mitzvah that we have in the Torah. V'samachta b'chagecha. Come the mefarshim, the commentary, and ask, what does it mean, v'samachta b'chagecha? And you should be in joy and happy in your festival. Why is it? So this mitzvah that we have, first of all, v'samachta b'chagecha, it's a Gemara, it's in Sefer Vayikra, Parashat Emor. There it says the v'samachta b'chagecha, that we obligate to be happy in a festival. And I saw a beautiful commentary of the Rabbi Avraham Even Ezra. Rabbi Avraham Even Ezra, let's just give us a history about him. He born in the city of Toledo in Spain. He born 936 years ago. Yes, 936 years ago. Okay. And he explained like this, that the mitzvah of Simchat Hag, that the person sit in a sukkah, or if he's out of the sukkah, and he's happy for those 8 days, obviously in diaspora in Eretz Israel, 7 days, and he's happy, he's not getting cross, he's not getting upset, he's not getting sad. He said that's a remedy for all year round, okay? That the Torah given us a mitzvah to help us, that all year around, okay, that can affect us all year around. By that we're sitting in a sukkah, and we happy, and we join. He said that's the most important thing, that to help you to be in joy and happiness. He said that here is the most difficult mitzvah that you have, v'samachta b'chagecha. How much a person have to be careful not to get upset. You know, you came home, the table of the kiddush is not ready, glass got broke, all different. And believe me, it's not short to be upset. He say a person should not show any face of cross face or upset all the time, to try to be happy on those 7 days. He said that's the idea, v'samachta b'chagecha. But Rabotai, we start with a question that I never answer. It says, Basukot tishvu, in plural, Sukkot. Ask the Mefarshim, wait a minute. You tell me Basukot tishvu. You should sit in a Sukkot in plural. But you say, Basukot tishvu. Okay? How can I sit in more than one sukkah? You should say, Basukkah tishev. Why you tell me Sukkot tishvu? Basukkah tishev. Because we know that I have one sukkah. A person can be in one sukkah. He go to visit someone, he going for a meal. He can sit in one sukkah. He can't sit in his sukkah and the friend's sukkah or the kid's sukkah. That's the question that asked the Mefarshim. Why is it say Basukot Tishvu? No. I saw a beautiful answer that the Mefarshim bring. The Mefarshim say, but that it say Basukot Tishvu, that the person that sits in this world in a sukkah merit to sit בסוכת אורו של לוויתן. As Hazal tell us in the Gemara Masechet Baba Batra, Ein Dalet, Memda. I don't remember. Or 74 or 40 or 44. One of these two pages, it just certain, that לעתיד לבוא, עתיד הקדוש ברוך הוא לעשות סוכה לצדיקים, האורו של לוויתן. That's me. That's the Gemara there. You see, I don't remember the pages. I don't remember. As I'll say, that the person that sits in Sukkot, in a sukkah here, in this world, Akadosh Baruch Hu, Atid, in the future, you will make a beautiful sukkah from the skin of the well, the big well. We done a show, I think last year, about the big well. I explained what does it mean, the big well, what does it mean, the skin, what's hiding behind it. So, Hazal and Gemara say that from that you can learn that there is two Sukkot. A person that sits sukkah in this world will merit in the world to come also to sit in a sukkah and to enjoy, okay, the Divrei Torah, all the Divrei Torah that the righteous people say in a world of heaven. He said that from here you understand why the Torah tells us Basukot Tishvu. That means to tell you if you sit in this world in a sukkah, in a world to come, you're also going to benefit and you're going to enjoy to sit with the tzaddikim and to hear Divrei Torah. He said, and a proof to it. It said, Kol ha'ezrach b'Yisrael yishvu basukot. Every Israeli citizen, every Jewish citizen, have an obligation to sit in a sukkah. What does it mean every Israeli citizen have a mitzvah to sit in a sukkah? I saw a beautiful interpretation that brought by Rabbi Yehuda Chatka. Rabbi Yehuda Chatka, he was the Rosh Yeshiva of Porat Yosef. He born in Jerusalem 115 years ago. And he explains something interesting. He asks, what does it mean, Ezrach, citizen? Why does the Torah say citizen? It's not enough to say every Jewish person or every member of Bnei Israel. Kol ha'ezrach b'Israel, every Jewish citizen have an obligation to sit in the Torah. Rabotai, listen to his answer, and that will help us to understand why it says Basukot Tishvu in plural. He said from that it say Kol ha'ezrach b'Israel, every Jewish citizen have to sit in the Torah. It's come to tell you when a person sits in this world in a sukkah, he gets citizenship. The citizenship is the green card in our language, okay, to enter the Sukkah in Gan Eden in the world to come. He said that the Torah tells you something very important. From that the Torah tells us that the person sits in a Sukkah in this world, he gets a citizenship for the world to come to enter to the Sukkah of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Rabotai, how much money people paying today to get a green card? To go to United States of America? No, people will spend fortune just to get a green card. What wouldn't they do just to get that green card? Say, Rabbi Yehuda Tzadka, look, here HaKadosh Baruch Hu telling you, the Holy Torah tell you, כל האזרח בישראל ישבו בסוכות. You want to get your passport, your green card, to sit in the sukkah of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in heaven? That's only in one condition. You sit here in the sukkah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu allowed you to sit in his sukkah in the world to come. Isn't that amazing? He explained the verses one by one. He gone through it step by step. And that's what he said, that we have to sit in a Sukkot. Why? Because just to explain what Hazal tell us about the idea of the Sukkah, we have to understand the Sukkah. So the Sukkah that we have in heaven is a sukkah we explained that made from the skin of the well. So what is the skin of the well? We explained previous year that the person look at that skin and he will see all different kind of viewing, all different kind of picture with viewing, amazing view. And to sit there just to look, the pleasure that you get from it, it's beyond understanding. Now the tzaddikim didn't even start speaking yet. It just from the atmosphere to watch that beautiful skin with all of that colors and imagine. We can't even imagine it. I would like to end up, why is it so joyous? Why is the Torah tell us that we have to be besimcha? Okay, and with that we'll understand more. So Ari HaKadosh, Rabbi Yitzhak Luria Ashkenazi that we brought, he says something extraordinary. He bring in the Gemara in Masechet Yoma, in page 86, folio, I think folio 2, if I'm not mistaken. And Hazal there say something extraordinary. Amar Rish Lakish. Rish Lakish say, גדולה תשובה שזדוניו נעשות לו כזכויות. That means, say Rish Lakish, Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish, he was the brother-in-law of Rabbi Yohanan, okay? And he said like this, that Gdola Tshuva, the merit of the Tshuva, it's so great that the person that done Averot, okay, all of those sins that he done, all the Averot he done, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will turn it like he done mitzvot. If a person do Tshuva, done atonement, like we done on Yom Kippur, okay, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will turn all our sin to mitzvot. How does it work? Said the Maharsha, Rabbi Shmuel Idlish, Rabbi Shmuel Idlish, born in city of Krakow in Poland. He born around, if I'm not mistaken, okay, it was in the 16th century, 15th century. And he said like this. He explained that the person that do mitzvah, listen to that, do mitzvot with love, merit, that all of his sin will turn to mitzvah. Say, how does it work? Say, Ari HaKadosh, let me explain to you. In Sukkot, everyone running, paying fortune. For what? For lulav, leaves. People pay fortune for hadassim. People pay fortune for aravot. Fortune of money. People pay at least. Some people can pay for the etrog, just the etrog, 4,000 or 5,000 rand. He said, not only that, people doing it with passion, with love. If that's not enough, look how they cover the sukkah. They go and pay for schach. Again, leave. That after 8 days, you have to pay for people to dump it for you. After 8 days, if you want to buy lulav, or you want to sell your lulav and etrog and hadas and arava, nothing. He said, the Ari HaKadosh, that the children of Israel, what did they do straight after Yom Kippur? Building the sukkah. They doing it with full of love, full of passion. From the bottom of the heart, they do the mitzvah. He said, that's why HaKadosh Baruch Hu, see that we do in mitzvot be'ahava, like Chazal tell us in a Gemara in Masechet Yoma, 86, folio 2, if I'm not mistaken, okay? He said, by that you're happy with doing the mitzvot of Arbaat HaMinim, building sukkah, he said, that's doing atonement to all your sin. That even if you have sinned, even if you've done atonement, and it's not enough, but now that you're doing those mitzvot be'ahava, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will turn all the averot that you've done, and that's going to stay as a merit to you. He said, that's the idea, v'samachta b'chagecha. Why we should be happy? Because the mitzvot of Sukkah and Arbaat HaMinim, every Jew doing it with full love, full happiness. I didn't see any other nation that will pay so much money for leaves, for etrog, that you can't even eat it. I didn't see people will spend so much money on palm leaves, on hadassim, aravot, that all year around, people will ask you, please, take it for free. The children of Israel pay fortune, the Jewish people, for all of the 4 species to build the sukkah, and everyone decorate the sukkah. So the Ari HaKadosh, now you understand why we have to be in joy and happiness. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu erased all our sin. Not only that he erased the sin, he turned them to mitzvot. Let me give you an analogy, and with that we're going to end. Imagine a person that he, in a bank, his credit is not so good. He owes a lot of money. He came to the bank manager and he said to him, listen, I know that my credit is XYZ. Said the bank manager in one condition. If you're going to do XYZ with love, in passion, with happiness, I'm willing to change all your credit. What would we do? We would run. Here, HaKadosh Baruch Hu tell us, do the mitzvah in love after you've done atonement, after the day of Yom Kippur. Do the mitzvah of Sukkot and Arbaat HaMinim with joy and happiness. Go and buy it. And I promise you that I turn all of those mitzvot, all of those averot to mitzvot. Who wouldn't run? Now we can understand why we should be happy that HaKadosh Baruch Hu erased all our averot and he turned them to mitzvot. and Be'ezrat Hashem, that we should all merit that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, please God, will write us, will seal us in a book of life, and a book of prosperity, a book of healthy life, a book of peace, and please God, we'll see our hostages being released soon, and we'll have peace in Eretz Israel, and peace to all the Jews all over the world. And the most important, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will send us the Mashiach Tzidkenu speedily in our day. Amen. Ken Yeh Ratzon. Rabotai, I would like to thank each one of you for joining us for the show tonight. I hope that you enjoyed it. And I would like also to take the opportunity and to wish all of you Hag Sukkot Sameach, to all of you, to your family, to the closer one to you, and Be'ezrat Hashem, that we'll hear that the hostages will sit and celebrate those that still alive with their family in a sukkah. Amen. Ken Yeh Ratzon.